cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. It's Monday, and I am Jay with Guilty of Crime. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. Intuitive Alchemy, what's going down? All right, y'all. Do me a favor, hit the like button as you come in. I appreciate your support. Hello, everybody. Hello. And today we're covering the how to catch a psychopath, but we're also doing breaking news. Stephan Sterns finally has trial date set for 2025. Now, I'm going to show you articles and everything, and I appreciate everybody here. Appreciate y'all. Got my back here. Support the channel. Thank you. Hello, Carrie. How you doing? All right. So let's see what we got here. Nerdy Cat is a new member. Either you're a new member or you re-up. So thank you. I appreciate that. Now, Stephan Sterns, you guys, everybody was patiently waiting Stephan Sterns to finally or to show up for court. I didn't think he was going to show up for his hearing, but I'm going to explain that to you all. He did show up. In fact, I have a picture, the only picture, and then I have information for you. So we're going to go for the Stephan Sterns. Hi, Scary Sherry. Thank you. And thank you, Scary Sherry, for last week sending me the not super chat, a Cash App. Thank you so much. Marissa Fontaine, thank you so much for the $4.99 super sticker. It's been a rough day, but we're all good. We're back. A full moon's coming in a few days, so I put that moon behind me. Show love, everybody. Petty Mason, thank you for shouting everybody out. I appreciate y'all. Ashton Lee, one of my big supporters, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get into the breaking news. Thank you, Jen's a Gypsy. Guilty of Crime crew. You know how we do. I can't wait till we have a members only. When we do, we're going to go in hard and have a serious session here. A serious Guilty of Crime session. Phyllis, how you doing? Liz, thank you. Thank you for coming over from What's the Obsession. I appreciate that. Yeah, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Let's get into this, all right? Let's get into the first bit of, well, it is breaking news because not only that, thanks for getting in the word about Aubrey. You're welcome, Holly S. And I am going to do a video about that this week. I'm going to go ahead and set it off this week. Wow, you guys are, thank you for showing me love today. I appreciate that. Nikki, and I don't want to botch your last name, for the $20 super sticker, I'll call you Nikita G. Thank you so much. Yeah, today we've got, we're going to start off with the breaking news. Yeah, I appreciate that so much. The support and the love that you guys have for the channel. I also want you to know Reese went back to school today, and she texted me from school and said she had a sore throat. Now, all last week when Reese was off school, nothing was wrong with her at all. She was perfectly good. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. That Reese, in fact, texted me and said, Mom, I have a sore throat. Come pick me up. So that's another breaking news. She's first day back at school. Gotta love it. And I didn't see this, Diana L., but thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. I appreciate you all for the love and the support. And we're going to put our trigger warning potato, the killer potato today, all right? Yeah, sweet Reese. I love her. Yeah, she did, Carrie. She actually did. All right, let's get this party started and be happy.
All right, we've hit the pause button to bring you some breaking news in the case of the man accused of murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Dates have now been set for both of Stephan Sterns' trials. A jury trial is set in these sex abuse charges against Sterns for February 24th, 2025.
And the trial for the murder charges against Sterns is set for September 22, 2025. Sterns is accused of sexually abusing his girlfriend Jenn Soto's daughter for several years. Police.
It should say ex-girlfriend in my opinion, y'all. And I hope that you guys wrote those dates down. I'm going to go over the article again after this, and then I'm going to go over the article from him being in court, which I actually did go over on my page. But in case you missed it, we're doing a live today. I love you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, killer potato. Trigger warning. If anybody comes in chat, I'll give you a trigger warning that we need to be aware of. All love here. All love. 2027, it's not happening, but they asked for 2027. The lawyer went in and asked the judge to put it out to 2027 because they have another death penalty case, and the judge said, get real, basically. All right, so the first trial date, synth server mod says, is set for Madeline Soto's the day after Madeline Soto's 13th birthday, and that is creepy. That is creepy. Yeah, 2027, basically the judge said, what a joke. What a freaking joke. Yeah, a day after Madeline Soto would be 14. Let's see if that sticks. It is potato time. We got 2 potatoes, and I hope that Jenn Soto gets arrested sooner than later. All right, so this should have been ex-boyfriend, not stepfather, none of them.
Discovered thousands of images on his cell phone, allegedly sexually abusing Madeline. Sterns is also accused of murdering Madeline and disposing of her body in a wooded area in Osceola County, Florida.
All right, so that is it. We're going to get out of this one. Those are the dates, and then I'm going to show you this article. I don't really like how it goes back on there, but we're going to show it anyway. All right, so I'm going to read it to you. Kissimmee, Florida. Stephan Sterns faces a busy year in 2025 with 2 dates now set for him to stand trial on the murder and SA charges. Sterns is charged with taking Maddie's life, 13-year-old Madeline Soto, his girlfriend's daughter, as well as being abused SA 4 years before her death. On Monday, which is today, judge scheduled 2 trials for Sterns. In February, he will first stand trial on the dozens of charges for SA of a minor in possession of CP. Then in September, he will return in front of the same judge to stand trial for the murder charges. Sterns has not been presented at any of his court hearings since his arrest. So this is the very first one that he showed up. I'll show you the article in a minute and the picture. If you didn't see it on my community page, Soto was reported missing on February 26th after her mother said she tried to pick the teenager up from school, only to learn that Soto never arrived that day. As police began investigating her disappearance, they found more than 1,500 disturbing images and videos of the child on his phone, which is Madeline Soto. Days later, March 1st, Soto's body was found. The coroner determined she had been strangled. In the months since Soto's murder, interviews with Sterns and Soto's mother, Jenn Soto, have been revealed a disturbing picture of a child's home life where she was often sent to bed to sleep next to Sterns alone. Sterns had pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Jenn Soto has denied any knowledge of the abuse and has not been charged. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Sterns if he's convicted on murder charges. All right, so we got that trial to be set. We just watched that one, and we're going to close out of this, and I'm going to show you the article next. All right. And don't forget, we have a whole show coming after this, How to Catch a Psychopath with Deception Detective. So thank you all for being here. I hope that everything's still rolling nicely on your end. When I'm reading, I can't see the chat, so I appreciate every single one of you, your support, your love, and standing behind me. So thank you. 2027, who does he think he is? Brian Koberger? They need to hurry up too. Yeah, I told you guys that. I told you that that we were going to get to the bottom of this. I told you it wouldn't be 2 to 5 years, and I knew they'd be pushing it out. So, yeah, one case at a time. Thank you. We will be getting into other cases, and this week I'll be covering another case. And I hate this mug shot, too, all hunched over like a creepy guy. But he is a creepy guy, and look at his new do, and look at his hair. His hair is completely almost gray, and his beard. Time. He's very repulsive. All right. Trigger warning. Thank you, Stella. Appreciate that. Stephan Sterns makes his first ever court appearance on Monday, which is today, October 14th. New court date set. This is the picture of him essaying and taking her life. All right. So that was him today, looking all creepy, hair almost all gray. Looks like they chopped him off real good. He doesn't get that beard to hide his face. That's his first time he's showed up. And I want to let you guys know that the judge did. Let me put this back up so you guys can see it for a minute. The judge did order him, and I'll show you paperwork in a minute. They ordered him, unlike what they did with Adam Montgomery, they ordered him that he has to be there for his trials. All right. I wonder if they forced him to shower too, Catherine. Hello. How you doing? How you doing, Patricia? I want to say hello. If I don't respond, I'm not ignoring you. I have a bad headache. Oh, I'm sorry. Go lay down, military ma. We love you. And thank you for being here. All right. So, first time, he was neatly trimmed, they say, but it looks like a botch haircut to me. He didn't speak during his brief appearance today. He entered the courtroom shortly before his 10-minute hearing and was let out immediately after. Aside from the murder, the state is charging with 60 counts of SA, or sexual battery, lewd and lascivious, molestation, and possession of child sex abuse material. Charges filed by state attorney's office after searching his phone and Google Drive on February 26th. State attorney has filed to seek the death penalty against Sterns, who remains in Osceola County Jail. It appears that the wheels of justice are moving slowly. Assistant DA Pinnell noted no depositions have been done or scheduled among the many witnesses in what are now separate cases. She said the murder case has many more witnesses. Public defender Beth Borden, I think that's how you say it, Bordone, surrounded by a defense team of 3 other attorneys, told Judge Keith Karsten that she's currently on another death penalty case and has 2 others on her docket. She asked that the case be scheduled for 2027, but Karsten said it would test the bounds of what's reasonable. In other words, no. Karsten set a new pretrial hearing for Stern cases, noting that the case for 60 counts has fewer hurdles standing in the way. He tentatively scheduled the case for a pretrial hearing on Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. Mark your calendars, folks, for February 12th, 2025, and a trial docket for February 24th to March 14th. He set a pretrial hearing with discovery and deposition updates on September 10th, 2025 to start September 22nd. All right, there's that. Let me get into the last one, and this one I want to get into this one because it's got some documentation that will show you, and I want to thank MB Inc. because I'm sharing their page. MB Inc. always puts the documents up on their page. They're fantastic. They send them to Grizzly True Crime, and they put their things on their documents on Scribd, etc. So thank you all. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hit the like button if you like how I present. I just want you to know everything's good over here. Why did the defense have more rights than victims? That's an interesting question, Cece. And when I get into this, we'll answer more questions. Right now, when I'm reading, it's kind of hard, but I do want you to see that. I do want you to see for yourself that. Yeah, shout out to MB Inc. Thank you for the documents I'm using from your YouTube page and the court documents, State of Florida versus Stephan Michael Sterns. And it does talk about the judge ordering him to, in fact, probably allegedly, right, to, in fact, show up at his trial. Thank you, Crittles, for smashing that like button. I do appreciate you all. Thank you, JoJo. For gifting 1 guilty of crime membership, and Tom Honecker, thank you. Rumor has it he's still meandering in his jail cell. Thank you. Rumor has it that the judges ordered him to meander his way to court and be there. So no kind of I didn't change any mod statuses, Carly. Nothing. It's all the same, girl. All right. So, yeah, rumor has it he's meandering in his jail cell, and he will be at the trial. Carly, I heard you. I saw your text, and nothing's been changed. I have no idea. Foxy Amazon, I cannot wait. Thank you so much. 420's coming. I want you all to know that I don't support 420 because I'm smoking 420. I support it because I love my crime crew. And Foxy Amazon gifts us memberships on 420. This is nicotine, and I have a bad nasty nicotine habit. So I smoke my puffers. Unless you guys want me smoking cigarettes, I suggest you get behind my puffer smoking, all right? Stephan going to meander his way to the shower at some point. Well, he got a fresh haircut for today. They freshly chopped it all off, folks. They freshly chopped it off, and he looks like this. He looks like an evil, nasty potato. All right. And I'm going to take that love from you, One Love, because I can use all the love today. All right. I can use all the love today. Absolutely. Every day. I picked my daughter up, and my daughter said, I love you, Mom. I love you. And don't worry about the haters. She heard me texting somebody and she said, you have haters, Mom? What? I said, absolutely, baby. And she said, don't worry about it. When people are hating, it just means you have a lot of people looking at you. You need to puff on CBD, girl. I don't know if I can puff on CBD and still function. Yeah, that's why I vape. For all you guys out there, that's all I got to say. All right. And I don't know what this person's doing here, but Trick 77's got a bunch of ghosts in there. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're gonna do another live stream where we address things with people should hate on pedos. People absolutely itch and scratch should hate on pedos. Absolutely. My daughter was hating on pedos when I picked her up. She asked me what happened, and I told her what happened, and she said, Mom, if you were associated with any of those pedos, I would get on a plane and move away to grandma's house. She's like, those people are crazy. And I said, yes, baby, those people are crazy. All right. Thank you all. Reese is a smart girl. She gives me a lot of my advice. So from a 10-year-old, and we do have the best mods. We absolutely have the best mods. All right. As a matter of fact, one of our mods who's on here, Bree is the one that caught a pedo. So when you guys know the real story, you'll know that Bree actually found the pedo's name, helped with the background check, and caught a freaking pedo. So catching pedos is what people do around here. Yeah, not my thing. Somebody said they didn't want me vaping on here, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Reese might call. No, Reese already called and said her throat hurt. I picked her up, y'all. Yeah, Bree. Shout out to Bree. Bree's the one that caught a pedo. If you guys want to put ghosts inside the chat or say anything about it, then Trick. All right, Trick, I'm going to tell you one time, Trick E77 with your ghost. I didn't have anything to do with H Ghost. H Ghost was working with Gothic Bree, and Gothic Bree found out he was a pedo. So let's not hide behind a little no ghost and the ghost in here. If you want to call me out or talk, let's talk. But don't try to throw shade this way, all right? If you guys want to throw shade, then I'm going to throw shade back. Yeah, Bree did call. Bree, you better get in chat and defend yourself because Bree is the one that did that. Bree was not in a group chat with pedo. Reddit caught him. No, Bree found his names. Honey Duke, you've been on my channel, and I don't know why you're throwing shade, but I saw your comments throwing shade at me, all right? So, no, you shouldn't be in my chat if you have no idea what you're talking about, all right? No, Bree found the name of him. Don't tell me nope. Yeah, go away, troll. Kick them out of here, please. Bree helped to discover his name, and that's how we found out. Now, Ghost doesn't work with my channel. Mods, tell me if any of the mods here are Ghost. Is there any mods here? Come on, mods. Either kick these people out, get them out of my chat, or tell them who the mods are. And Bree, you need to explain what you did because I had nothing to do with Ghost. Ghost messaged. Actually, they messaged Bree. Bree was talking to Ghost. The only thing I had to do with him was that he gave the number to Tracy, and Tracy called me. So if you guys, get out of my chat. Yeah, you guys got to get them out of my chat, y'all. I'm not modding right now, and I'm not happy. I've been playing nice today, but I'm not going to play nice soon. So let's get down with this. All right. Osceola. I'm not going to put up with that. I've been putting up with that since yesterday, and I'm really not going to. Yeah. That's not absolutely not okay. I'm not going to be bullied on my channel. So stop it. Bree, you need to tell, and you can talk and chat what happened, and all the mods, who are my mods, get them out of here. All right. MB Inc. I got the messages, or I got these documents from MB Inc. And let's see what we got going on here. Diddy allegedly escaped jail. Did that happen, y'all? Did Diddy escape jail? Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chachi. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. What's going on is trolls are gone and they will get booted and blocked. All right. So I'm not going to worry about them. The mods are going to do that today. I knew there would be a few in here. I told you guys. All right. Pretrial hearing. Here we go. Pretrial. So none of that happened here. So we're going to get defendant. Oh, here it is. Appearance. Felony court status hearing. Defendant present with counsel. All right. So that was for today. Defendant present with counsel, courtroom. However, these might not be. That's a pretrial motion. Once or jail, 14th day of. Okay, so that was his documentation today. But the judge did ask that this guy here, they ordered him to be there. Yes, poor Maddie. God bless her soul. Rest in peace. All right. Right, Joe? All right. Thank you. Well, I shouldn't be modding this right now. So when people are in there talking to the mods, you guys should answer. Hopefully you guys answer. Bree's the one that knows the most about this. So let her handle it. I have nothing to do with that guy other than he was in my chat. Y'all are in my chat. And Anna, I'm posting your stuff up right now because that's what I do. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. My heart breaks for Maddie. No one talks about her. Maddie's involved. That's like she's an invisible child, right? All right. Let's go. Let's get this down. This is Stephan Sterns appearing today. We're going to pull this down and we're going to talk about, and this is a good topic today, how to catch a psychopath with deception detective. Oh, I told you there would be, Scary Sherry. I gave you guys a pre-warning. I came on live earlier and I said, you guys come on here because you needed to know before. That's not typical, but when other channels get involved and
these lies could have kept Stephan Sterns
behind the scenes, that happens. All right, y'all. Hit the like button. Yeah, that human sewage is so gross to even look at, right? He's gross there, but I'm so glad that he showed up today. I'm really glad. Thank you. Thank you, Sadie's mama, and thank you all. Okay, you guys, I'm glad that we're able to do this today. It was perfect timing for Stephan Sterns to show up. It was perfect timing for him to show up to court. And I don't know if Deception Detective covered this. All right, Evil Lady, I'll see you later. I don't know if Deception Detective covered this because he knew there was a hearing coming up, but kudos to you, DD, for doing this. Yeah, I agree, Star Z. I feel like people throwing shade are bigots that are using this as an excuse to be nasty. Anyone that really cares about the community knows Jay is legit and respectful to the victims. Absolutely. And you also know who my mods are, and you know who I stand behind, who I work with, who brought me into the case. So that being said, you guys understand that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, honey bun. I appreciate that. All right. Unbelievable. People are unbelievable. No morals, no standards, no loyalty indeed. Military Ma, I thought you were behind the scenes. Or is that you behind the scenes, Aid? Don't let them get you. Your crime crew knows the truth and we love you. It's all BS. Yep. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, let's catch it. Let's learn how to catch a psychopath with Deception Detective. I'm going to slow it down a little. I'm going to put on normal today so we can listen to this carefully.
out of prison, but the detectives nailed him in the interrogation, which is coming up next. Stephan Sterns fooled his victim, Madeline Soto, her mother Jenn, and even the press, but not the police. Let's watch his interrogation video to see how detectives caught him red-handed. Thanks to Grizzly for the video, link below.
And I apologize if you've answered these questions before. It's just like I said, we're coming into the game late, so I may ask you things that you've already answered probably 3 or 4 times.
And I apologize as well. My memory is not super reliable on time frames. I've been medicated for the better part of a week.
Okay, that's fine. What do you think medicine's for?
Anxiety mostly. Been having some money troubles lately. Anxious over that. So
Okay. Well, hopefully your money troubles get better.
I've been
I'm gonna turn it
medicated
out.
on Ativan since probably Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so when you got to Kissimmee and you got to the apartment, what happened? Like,
Made some dinner.
By the way, he made some dinner. All you ladies that love Deception Detective, he's looking pretty good today. He got a haircut, trimmed up his beard. He came on there. He loves his followers, his subscribers, and you all. When you all pump him up and you chat here and you talk about how great he is, he loves it. Yeah, he is. He's looking real good today. Love him. He's got his card show backwards, huh? Whose card shows backwards? Interesting. Well, I'm glad you've seen this. Deception Detective put this out about 19 hours ago, and we are collaborating with him. So I know some, like Clar loves her some Deception Detective.
Get some ramen. Don't know how I make my ramen. And then we started watching Sister Act, but it was time for her to start getting ready. Basically, just as we were starting Sister Act.
okay.
And that was just about bedtime.
Before we go further, here are a few key details the detectives already know. They have CCTV footage of Stephan dumping Madeline's backpack into a dumpster. They also know he didn't drop her off at school that morning. Regardless, Stephan has already raised enough red flags in the very little he's already said to alarm any keen listener. For example, he's an unrelated adult living with the victim. He's heavily medicated, he's broke, he's anxious, and he showed up in Kissimmee right before Madeline disappeared. And it only gets worse from here. Listen to what he says next about sleeping with Madeline.
What time is bedtime?
Usually
All right. Are you guys listening? I hope everybody's got it turned up. And yeah, we do not like Stephan Sterns' voice, but we love Deception Detective. As a matter of fact, let's go back. I love when he does this full screenshot because we can actually see who he is. Shout him out. Don't forget, he needs 50,000 likes, and then he's going to make more videos. Now, there's another video with Jenn Soto that he made about 6 days ago. I've been really busy covering the Diddy case, covering this case, getting the audio out. So we will do that one as well with Deception Detective. And I don't know how he thinks he's going to get away with this, but let's listen to how catch a psychopath. So we can catch the signs before it happens, all right? Deception Detective. All right. Yeah, I love your guys' love for him.
And it only gets worse from here. Listen to what he says next about sleeping with Madeline.
What time is bedtime?
Usually 10:30, 11.
Okay.
It's a spectrum, not a set time.
Mm-hmm. Then, so who's going through the bedtime routine? Because I know Jennifer said she has somewhat of a little routine too that she does. Is it her? Are you talking about?
Jennifer's routine is, taking her meds, eating some food so that she can have the proper calories for the meds. And then she's got about an hour to do whatever she needs to do because she needs to fall asleep at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Her bedtime routine is taking her bedtime meds, brushing her hair. She should have showered that night. And she goes to bed as well, usually with some bombs or something on in the background.
Got it. What are the sleeping arrangements?
He sleeps in.
What are the sleeping arrangements?
Okay. Did she sleep in her bed Sunday night?
No. I was just back. I'd been away for a couple months. In the same bed together, so get some serious sleep. So she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had big enough bed. So some snuggle cuddle time that would suffice, and Jen would get to sleep in peace.
Okay. So you say snuggle time. What does that mean?
Oh God,
Like
I
to
mean,
be alone. She is extremely dependent. She does not like to be alone at all. She needs human presence around her. So,
Gotcha.
we've been trying to wean her off of that, but it's been difficult.
For months, I've been saying Stephan Sterns is a psychopath, and this exchange is more proof. First, he actually blamed Maddie for her own abuse, claiming she insisted on being cuddled at night, and that he and Jen were just trying to wean her off of it. Second, he actually thought the cops would believe that story. Psychopaths never take responsibility, which often results in this sort of tone-deaf victim blaming, like we're seeing here. They also don't feel guilt or stress when lying, the way that you or I might do. So their lies, while they're confidently told, are often full of plot holes. We've seen this with people like Chris Watts, O.J. Simpson, and Casey Anthony. In fact, Stephan's lies are so obvious, you have to wonder how Jenn Soto could have been so clueless. For example, pay close attention to the story Stephan is about to tell of dropping Madeline off at school. We know now that it's a total fabrication, but see if you can pick up on all the signs of deception as he tells it. If you have a copy of the deception deck, I'm sure you can make a royal flush. I'll be showing my cards on screen as we listen.
I had apparently forgotten my clicker key fob for the gate. Excuse me. Morning routine. She usually starts waking up. We set about 3 alarms. First one goes off and we let her keep snoozing.
Do you remember what time her alarm goes off? What?
Not really. Maybe 7:30ish. I'm not sure. Alarm goes off. We let her snooze about 3 times while we start getting ourselves ready. And after the 3rd snooze, it's time for her to get up for real and start getting ready. Typically, she will have showered the night before, so she needs to brush her hair, brush her teeth, excuse me, get her book bag together, eat some breakfast if she's going to eat there, and then we eventually make our way out the door.
Okay. So walk me through, like.
all right, I'm going to stop for 1 second. Thank you, Jojo and Graciela. It never stops. My son just called me and he wants to borrow my Costco card. And of course, I'm going to let him borrow my Costco card. But I'm like, I'm streaming, son. And he's like, but I need it. You know, we all got to shop at Costco. So I'll play this for a minute. I'm trying to, I was on a cell phone, but not a landline. It's because I have a, nope, not today. It's because I have a big thing on it. Hello, Carrie, says Paul. All right. Yeah, he's yawning. I love his, and thank you. I love his perception of Stephan Sterns when he talks about how he says it so easily. As we listen to this, Mom, I need it. As we listen to this, we hear him so calmly saying it was cuddle time and, blaming Maddie that she needed to be weaned off of it. Yeah, right. We have a Costco business card and you get like all kinds of stuff. It's like the black card or whatever. And he needs my card. So I'm going to play this while I find my card. Just want to let you guys know I was on the phone. I'm paying attention here. And beautiful Madeline was only 13 for one day. Justice for Madeline. Thank you. Okay. Right? That's why he was so calm, though. I think one thing is just it just flies right off of Stephan Sterns' tongue. Yeah, like she was a toddler, not a teenager. All right, let's listen to his assessment while I find my Costco card.
You leave, you take her to school in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of car do you have?
It's a Lincoln. It's actually my parents' car because my car is down south it needs maintenance, and we're scared to drive it too much. So I'm driving a Lincoln right now. Got out early. The plan was to get some McDonald's.
Got it.
So we got out nice and early.
Do you remember what time you left? Roughly.
Not 100%. Sorry. Sorry. My memory has not been super reliable.
That's fine.
But it was early. Maybe 7:30, 7:45, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not certain.
That's fine.
The plan
Was Jennifer awake when you guys left?
semi-awake. I was giving her updates as we were going along. Getting ready, she's getting dressed. We're leaving now. Goodbye. But she was sleeping in, so I was just giving her little updates and poking my head in as we went. But we leave the house. We start making our way to the school.
And notice everything is making his way somewhere. I know that this has nothing to do with maybe him being a psychopath, but you distracted me. Deception detectives in here. Nice shades. Nice new look. DD, love the beard trim. All right. So making his way is a way for him to take gaps of time and spread them out even more. So he doesn't have to say, we did this at this time at 8:30. We did this. I came back at 9:30. It's a way to spread it out. And say hello to Deception Detective, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe to his channel if you have not. All right, let's go.
Most of the time, make our way over towards her school area. I ask her if she's still moving through McDonald's. She's not. She doesn't want it anymore. Okay. Continued on. It was still pretty early though, I think. We still had some time to kill. It wasn't really time to drop it off yet.
12. That's how many unique signs of deception I spotted in this story, and that's being generous. I've already covered many of them in my video, How to Spot a Predator, so I won't repeat those here. You can check out that video after this one. I'll link it at the end. For now, let's focus on how Stephan used specific words and grammar to mislead the cops without outright lying. This is by far the most common form of deception, especially when the liar doesn't know how much the person they're lying to already knows. First, his story was vague. He avoided giving specific times or locations, instead using ranges like getting up between 7 and 7:30 or heading to the school area. He couldn't even commit to whether or not Jenn was asleep or awake. He said she was semi-awake, whatever that means. Second, his statements were conditional. He never actually said that the morning routine, like setting 3 alarms, having breakfast, getting dressed, happened that particular Monday. He only mentioned it as their usual routine, meaning he technically didn't lie about that Monday morning's events. But he didn't answer the detective's question either. He also used fragmented sentences to avoid making clear, fact-checkable statements. For example, he said, got up early, the plan was to get McDonald's, but left out who exactly got up early. Was it just him and Madeline, everyone in the house? Without a pronoun, it's not a real sentence, and therefore, not a real lie. Finally, he hedged his story with qualifiers like, I think.
I love this, Deception Detective. If you're still listening, I love that you're putting the cards up there now, because every time I do a video of yours, I got the cards out and I get them ready. And usually my cards are a bit different than yours because, well, I'm not a deception detective just yet. I'm in training, right? So because I'm in training, I think about all the ones as I'm listening to it, pull them out. And so good, we can have different cards and still be doing the same case. So thank you for doing that with the cards. Supposing that you've probably seen some of my videos, and I hope you realize I'm always saying, get the deck, y'all, get the deck. Thank you, Flower Girl. We all support what you do, Jay. Thank you so much. He saw the Costco card that I had out. DD thought I was impersonating him with the Costco card, but really I was getting it out for my son. Yeah, the cards, I couldn't read the cards he held up. Words were backwards. They are backwards because it's a camera. but it does look like they're the right way on the screen. All right. I love this.
And pretty much, and claimed his memory was unreliable anyway. These lies could have kept Stephan Sterns out of prison, but the detectives nailed him in the interrogation, which is coming up next.
Apparently forgot my clicker key fob for the gate. So I ended up actually turning around at some point and going back to the community to get the clicker. I had to use my parking sticker to get in for the guy to scan. I had some errands to run afterwards, and then I wanted to have my fob. But we still had plenty of time as far as I knew. So we did that, grabbed the clicker, left again. And that's when we drove over to her school area and I dropped her off where I dropped her off.
Okay. Do you remember where you dropped her off?
Yeah, it was the stretch of road, I forget the street name. It was the stretch of road that the school is on. Make a right onto it. It goes down a little ways. There's some communities over here, and up further there's a church, and there's the overpass and the school on the other side of the overpass right there. I dropped her off on that stretch where the communities are.
Was she by herself when you dropped her, or was her friends there?
Yeah, she was by herself. She said she was going to go find her friends and hang out, wait for them to show up.
Okay.
It was still early.
Where did you go after that? Like, did you see her walk towards the...
I saw her making her way towards the direction of the school, but she was
Again, making her way. And we all know that the making her way, or making his way, making her way is just a way to get out of telling the time. So thank you, Jen Brick, so much for the $4.99 super sticker. And I suppose that it's all y'all just showing me love today. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, I do. This is the best interview so far, and it's the best interview that we could have analyzed here. So, man, hello, Marie. How you doing? Shout out to everybody that comes on my channel, whether you super chat or not. I always like to post your comments here and let you talk, let you get a word in. All right. Reality is that she doesn't need to explain herself. Nope. Right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Crime to remember.
like kind of shuffle steps. She was meandering her way there. She was rummaging through her backpack.
Meandering.
I assumed she was looking for headphones, maybe. But as it turns out, she did leave her phone at home that day, so she might have actually been looking for her phone.
Gotcha. Okay. What was she wearing when she left? Or when you dropped her off?
Green hoodie, black shorts, black or blue, black shorts, white Crocs.
White Crocs. Okay. All right. So she's walking towards the school. Do you continue straight when you leave? Do you turn out?
I turned around and went back the other way. I was watching.
I'm guessing Dee Dee's going to step in soon. This is almost disrespectful when you're having an interview with someone or interrogating and they start yawning. Patronus, thank you so much for saying that. I stand with you, Jay. I saw your video and wanted to be here as long as I can. Thank you. Yeah, Melly sent a message earlier and gave me some good information, and she stands behind me. Obviously, Deception Detective doesn't, the whole community. Yeah, this meandering thing is just that, and him yawning. It's like, wow, he really just doesn't care. Psychopaths really don't care if they're lying. It just slides right off of their tongue. One white Croc was in her mama's room. I wonder what's behind that. All right, let's see. Let's go. Let's listen to How to Catch a Psychopath.
I heard my rearview mirror. And she was going the right direction, so it looked okay.
Where did you go after that?
The next stop I wanted to go to was the vape shop. It opened at 10, so I had a little while, so I just kind of meandered around and eventually made my way up there to wait for it to open. It didn't open when it was supposed to, so I left and came home and went back about an hour later when I was sure it would have to be open at that point.
What was she looking for in her backpack if it wasn't headphones? Could it be a clue? Did I see any suspicious cars as I left the school? Where precisely did I drop Madeline off anyway? Could there be a camera there? When innocent parents or guardians recount the day their child went missing, they obsess over every detail, no matter how small. Did she actually forget her phone? Or did she leave it behind on purpose? Why was she so tired that morning? Was she up all night talking to someone? Stephan doesn't display any of that curiosity, and we know why. He already has all the answers. As a side note, Madeline's mother, Jenn Soto, didn't ask any of these questions.
I was just about to say that. Jenn Soto also didn't ask any of these questions. There were no curiosity. And when the officers asked her what she thinks happened, she nailed it. She absolutely nailed it when she said, well, she could have been strangled. And unless she was in the trunk, well, maybe I would have smelled her in the trunk. So there's a few things that she nailed. I'm still wondering about the one crock. We are too. They still haven't said anything about that, but my theory is that when he took her out of the house, she had 2 Crocs on with her Crocs and her socks. Her socks were completely clean, so we know that he carried her out of the house because her socks were clean. One Croc was in the trash, and the other Croc was still in Jenn Soto's house. All right? All right. Let's go. Let's keep going. Bree, if you can drop your page, or it's X Bree, but you drop your page in chat.
Either. In fact, she doesn't seem to have questioned Stephan's version of events at all. And it really boggles the mind, especially when you notice just how bad of a liar Stephan is. Like this next story he's about to tell. It might even have more deception tells than the last one.
Got what I needed there. And made my way back to home again. Relaxed and hung out with Jenn for a while. Seems like any other morning.
When you got back home after school, was Jennifer home at the time?
I think she was on her way home. I think that she had a blood appointment, and we were both kind of going to arrive very shortly with some time with each other.
Okay. So when you got home, when both of you got home, walk me through the rest of the day.
Just hung out, chit-chatted. I mean, I don't know. It's not much to recollect.
But you stayed at home pretty much all day, or no?
Pretty much until maybe noon-ish or 1 o'clock. I had a few errands to run.
Oh, man.
Back in time for us to go.
All right, I'm going to just stop it real quick and say thank you to Avis so much for the 10 Guilty of Crime memberships. I hope that everybody that gets one and wants to be here. Thank you. All right. And thank you all for the support. Yeah, it's absolutely all price. I should have used my intuition in the first place and realized what was going on. So on a members only, we'll go ahead and do a members only, and we'll all talk about it. All right. Thank you so much for showing the love. Let's go.
So I just ran up and down 192. Ended up getting a flat at some point, which made me late to get.
Where'd you get a flat at?
Somewhere along 192.
192 is a big road.
It is.
192.
Honestly, it all looks the same to me. So I've been asked, do you remember what plaza you were next to?
192 is such a famous number around here that even you all, every time you hear 192, I see it in chat. So again, those were the things that Jenn knew. 192, she said it over and over and over. And if the cops would have actually went along 192 and kind of tracked things, they would have realized that Stephan Sterns went on 192 when he got his flat. I don't know if they were still looking into that, but yeah, here we go with 192. Blink 192. You guys know that very well from Jenn Soto. And now he's bringing up 192. I'm so glad that he was caught. I'm so glad that Maddie was found. I'm glad it happened in a timely manner. Thank you, Michelle Legrand. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I agree. I hadn't been on the internet this whole weekend. I've been chilling with my daughter that had a week off from school and the wife, just hanging out. You guys know I got a new bed, and the new bed is awesome. So awesome. I don't want to go anywhere.
What color? Like, I'm ADD as it is, and I was in a medicated fog for the better part of a week. I'm lucky I remember what color I'm wearing right now.
Do you remember what errands you were running?
Yeah, I wanted to go check out some game shops.
Where were these game shops?
There's Coliseum of Comics. There's House Rule Games nearby. A lot of the Targets and Walmarts carry the game I was looking forward to. We just had a new release on Friday, so even though I don't have much in the way of money right now, I still wanted to look at what the situation.
It's always nice to window shop.
It is. And I'm a serial consumer. So I was just driving around up and down 192, sort of just
192.
aimlessly, honestly. Just killing time till it was time to go back.
Yeah, I really needed to hear this, How to Catch a Psychopath with Stephan Sterns, because it's so much that it's hard to tell when to pull out the card and when to diagnose and when to talk about what and how he's acting versus the statements he's saying. So thank you, Deception Detective, for this. There's another video we're going to do together, hopefully this week. I have to do this. I just didn't have time. Yeah, Killing Time, that damn script. Yeah, see, and I love how you guys are saying like neck touching is line, but we're not doing body language. We're he's a statement analysis guy. All right, 192.
All right, so when you got home, did you and Jennifer leave from school?
So I got home. It was 10 minutes later than Jen had wanted to. About 10 minutes. I called her and said, "Hey, where are you? I'm so sorry. I got a flat." She already left. She had been gone for 10 minutes. It didn't make sense for her to come back and get me. She likes to be the first in line when the kids start coming out.
Okay. Then wasn't at school. So what happened? Did Jennifer call you after that, or what?
I was already on the phone with her while she was waiting. We were just chit-chatting. We do that. We just keep each other.
Is anybody just chit-chatting when their daughter's missing? Really, though? I mean, the huge one on this is the way he talks without a care in the world. Thank you, Scary Sherry. By the way, I shouted you out a minute ago for the $25 Cash App. I do appreciate you.
Other company, even if we're not physically together. That's when we started asking questions. Did you go somewhere else?
Once again, Stephan is being obviously deceptive, but he's not technically lying. He never actually said he visited 3 game shops after leaving the house. He just said he wanted to. What he did claim was that he meandered around, hung out with Jen, drove up and down the highway, got a flat tire, and killed time until school let out.
No.
And guess what? His only real deception there was omitting the reason for his long drive up and down the highway. If you know the facts of this case, he was driving to St. Cloud to hide Madeline's body there. Beyond that, I'm sure he was just killing time until school let out because he knew that's when people would notice Madeline was missing. I'd even bet the part about the flat tire was true, as I mentioned in The Power of Denial. As for the flat tire, that's an unusual detail, which makes it more likely to actually be true. When liars script their stories, they usually optimize them for believability and memorization. So they typically omit details like accidents or mistakes. Flat tires, crushed thumbs, stubbed toes, these are the unpredictable quirks of real life. Not the type of things you typically see in hoaxes. The detectives know exactly what Stephan is doing though, so they're going to shift into interrogation mode and pin him down to a lie he can't escape. See if you can tell when that shift happens.
All right, we'll do that in just a second. And thank you all for being in chat with me today. I appreciate you all. We had 420 people in chat. I'm suspecting that there are other lives going off and on, so I appreciate you. When you do come in, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for all the gifted memberships. There's going to be a lot of people in here that have memberships, and we'll do a members only very soon. Thank you, Pamela Borges, for the $5 super chat. I can't stand this fake yawn, and he's always meandering. It's so cringe. I mean, who talks like that? Well, a psychopath and a sociopath, I suspect. Thank you, Nancy Jean, for the $5 super sticker. You're so sweet. I appreciate you guys, Little Red. It's been 2 months. Happy to be here. Thank you. I appreciate you all. And good morning, Rachel Townsend. Good morning. I wish it was morning for me as well. All right. Hoaxer. Catherine Baker, hello. No one talks like that. All right, let's spot his next fly and how he shifts his tone and his words.
So we started making all the calls. No one had seen her yet. And so that's when we started getting a lot more concerned and panicked. She drove around a little more, looking for her, looking along the walking paths, and didn't see anything but her. Not there, waited around, not there, went back to the school, not there. At that point, the whole family started rallying up and going to meetings. I think that it was around that.
Going back to school, how was she like on the car ride there?
Just calmed down, sleeping. Just sleeping along the way. She does that.
How often have you?
Not often, honestly. This might have been my third or fourth morning school run. I'm normally the one to do it.
And on the other occasion?
I'm going to stop before we get into that. He said third or fourth school run. And yes, Tom, that's really creepy. I agree. Oh, nope, not today. You got a membership just like you wanted. All right. Really inconsistent with everybody else's statements. He said third or fourth time doing a school run, y'all. Remember what Jenn Soto said? Not that we ever believe her, but Jenn Soto and her sister said he had never taken Maddie to school before. This was his first time. And isn't that weird that it was his first time? And that happened and she went missing and everyone's just meandering around, chit-chatting, just chilling, emailing teachers to talk about Maddie missing. Nobody calling 911 that's a parent. Isn't that weird? I think that's what Deception Detective is going to call out. Not sure yet, but I didn't watch this yet. This is my first time watching it with y'all. I haven't had a chance. It came on, I think, 16 hours ago. Patronus, love you. I love the name too. All right.
Has she had you drop her off in and around the same location, or how does that?
She has this image thing. I guess it's, she only likes to be seen getting out of certain cars in front of the school. But mine's, I guess, kind of a hoopty, and she's a Pearson, right?
Lincoln?
Nice looking Sentra. So yeah, this is not the first time she's asked me to drop her off a little ways down so she could walk up and look cool.
So you say she was conked out on the way there.
Yeah.
You said you took her to school, or you were on her way to school.
And remember, by now, conked out. You know what conked out means, right? Conked out means they know Maddie was already deceased at this point. Her mouth was open and the way she was sitting was unusual. Jen, thank you. Love you too. Brenda P, Jay, crew family, know you are who you are and what you stand for. Much love and thank you. Thank you, Brenda P. Thank all of you today. I appreciate you. All right, conked out. We know what that means now.
You need to turn around to get your clicker.
Correct.
Was she sleeping then too?
She was.
Okay.
It had been an early morning, so I figured it'd be fine to let her sleep in the car ride.
Okay. When you got back to the apartment complex, or did you go in the front gate, or because I know there's the front entrance and then the back entrance?
When I came back after forgetting my phone.
Yeah. So which way did you leave?
I would have had to go in the front.
Okay.
And the guy scanned it. And I got in, got my fob, and left. I don't remember if I left out the front or the back.
Did you stop anywhere else in? No.
Not that I recall. No.
Okay. Did you take any trash out from the apartment?
The night before, I think I did.
I wonder if he's recalling when they ask him that question. Now that I'm hearing it again, if he recalls taking Maddie out, and I wonder if when he's saying he took the trash out and he's talking about it at night, I wonder if he took her out later on in the night, closer to the morning. He had already taken her out, maybe, but he just didn't leave. What do you think? How did he? Yeah, he took himself out, but how did he get her out? Now that we've listened to all the roommates, how did he get her out of that house without the roommates seeing? And we don't know anymore. We have no idea if when he got her out, did they get it on camera anywhere? Yeah, he does look way older. Let's listen.
I'm not sure. I took the trash out at some point, but I don't remember if it was the night before or it was the morning of. Yeah, sometimes we get trash bags piling up by the door. To see them.
Is there like a common trash place, or?
On your screen now is a breakdown of the Reed interview technique, which these detectives appear to be using. It has 3 distinct stages. First, the open statement, where the suspect is encouraged to talk freely, revealing what they think is important or sensitive. Next is the interview stage, where the detectives gather info and test the suspect's credibility.
Okay, quickly, y'all. Jojo, I hope you're here, and all the mods are here. If you could do me a big favor and not share the Maddie's memorial anymore, the MS Forever 13, just go ahead and delete that. I'm getting a message from the people over there that are running the memorial. They're only taking locks now, so they're only going to take locks. I put that on my page. My community page for anybody that wants to send locks, but please do not put the Maddie Forever 13 one. Just delete that. And yeah, because I'm getting a message right now. This is a busy live today, right? Yeah, no worries, Jojo. You guys just go ahead and delete it. We're not going to put that back on here. Okay, I just told her, okay, no worries. You got to remember this crew too. Jenny Esquivel and that whole side has been attacked as well. There's a huge attack this week on everybody in the Madeline Soto community on one side. So she's just over it. And yeah, just go ahead and delete that. L. Price, my theory is he took her out Jennifer Soto's door and was saying he was walking the dog. I'm positive it was around that time it transpired. That is a really good, that's a good theory. Really good theory. All right.
Credibility. In Stephan's case, they asked questions they already knew the answers to. Now they've shifted into interrogation mode. The goal isn't gathering information anymore. It's getting a confession. So you'll notice they're using more leading questions, presumptive questions, and detailed follow-ups. Notice how they're only now circling back to the questions you probably had yourself about Stephan's school drop-off story. In other words, they gave him enough slack to make his noose, and now they're going to hang him in it. They're also using some more subtle psychological tactics designed to make Stephan confess, which I'll explain the next time I pause.
Is that where you took the trash out?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't remember if that was Sunday night or Monday morning?
It could have been Sunday night. I don't recall. I'm sorry, I was in fog.
Well, okay. So, where?
Supposedly they got video of her walking past the church or waiting at the church for a while.
All right, and here's the scripted story again of Madeline Soto walking in the church. Supposedly they got a video of her walking in the church parking lot. Now, Jenn and him had to have gotten together at some point that morning in between him running back and forth, going to the vape shop, doing whatever he did. And I suppose that he probably did run to the vape shops. They'd get him on camera. Jenn Soto said, "Hey, go check the vape shop cameras." I'm pretty sure that the script that both of them use had to do with this because they both keep talking about the church. Yeah, God, not the script. Yes, the script. Jessica, and this is why I say hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. 1,000% believe Jenn knew everything and was heavily involved in the taking of Maddie's life and to clean it up. All right. Yeah, no empathy, no compassion. She shows about as much as Stephan does.
And leaving.
How's your relationship with her?
Great. One of her favorite people in the world.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 37. About to be 38.
You seem like a genuinely nice person.
You try to be.
Jennifer talks very highly of you.
That's weird.
So the morning school, when you came back, get your clicker. What was your?
She wasn't saying anything. She was just asleep. She was just reclined in the chair, sleeping.
Okay, explain to me, like reclining backwards.
Just like just laying back in the chair. Just like that, I guess.
Okay. All right. Stuff on here. I'm gonna be.
All right, here it comes, y'all. This is where they're letting him know. And thank you so much, Lydia Beetlejuice. I hope you saw the new Beetlejuice. That movie was amazing. Thank you for the super sticker, 99 cents. Thank you. I appreciate your love and support. All right, here it goes. Now, the scripting is huge in this, and until Jenn Soto is arrested, we're all going to sign the petition to arrest Jenn Soto. We're going to continue to support Madeline Soto. Yeah, no eye contact. And yes, Ada, thank you. Thank you for being here. You were gifted a membership. That means you'll be able to be in the members only soon. His voice says, "Please don't hit me." I agree. And I can't wait till Deception Detective tells us what he thinks about this because, Tom, you're absolutely right. He's getting ready to crap himself. Ashton, I agree. All right, let's listen together. Here it is.
I'm too old to lie to people. Too old to beat around the bush. And we seem like we're having a generally good conversation right now. Okay. The only thing that I ask for from you is, and I will reciprocate, I want you to be honest with me as much as I'm being honest with you. Okay. There's cameras all over the place, as you can imagine. Nowadays, cameras are everywhere. Okay. So we see you coming in at the guard shack. Okay. We see you go by the dumpster. Okay.
I'm ready to take some trash with me then.
What was in the trash?
House trash.
House trash?
House trash.
So it must have been that morning.
Stephan, they've caught you. Again, he refers to house trash and taking it out that night. And I think you guys are right. It was either when he took the trash out or when he was saying that he was bringing the dog in. Yeah, we definitely do think that. In our hearts, most of us think that she knew everything. And even if she didn't, she did nothing to prevent it. And she handed her daughter over to Stephan. Thank you for signing the petition to work with special needs children. You say you work with special needs children her age, and it's something I cannot stomach. I have a daughter that is going to be 10 in a couple of weeks. And yes, hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. I'll drop the petition in chat. All right, here it goes.
We'll toss trash bags on the back seat. Wherever we're going on our way out, we'll drop that on the way. I think mentioned to her for her. You have to double check.
Was everything in trash bags?
I'm sorry?
Was everything in trash bags, or was there any items that were just tossed along with the bag?
I think it would have been trash bags or maybe some boxes too, some birthday stuff, leftovers.
Birthday stuff.
Can't
Birthday stuff. Another thing, there were no birthday things. They had the party at Grandma's house, and Maddie mostly wanted cash. So birthday stuff and boxes. Yeah, what's in the trash? House trash, Mr. Beers, right? How could we even say that? What could we pull a card for that? What's in the trash? House trash. Yeah, something's not right with that comment. All of us want to rip his throat out, but I'm so glad he showed up at court today. If you guys just showed up here today, please go back to the beginning of this video and watch the breaking news. Stephan Sterns showed up today in court for the first time ever. All right. First time ever in this case. And there's a picture of him and there are dates. Now, 2025. Go check it out and write them down.
remember exactly what.
Okay. When you for school, did she have her backpack with her?
Yes.
She did. Did she have her school computer with her?
Yes. Presumably, yes.
Presumably. Okay.
She should have.
Once again, this goes back with the whole honesty thing. There was things in that trash bag that got thrown away that probably shouldn't have been thrown away. Okay.
What?
We'll get that in a minute. But right now, our main focus is finding. That is our number one focus right now.
You heard the detective mention reciprocity. I'll be honest with you, you be honest with me. They also use the psychological principle of consistency. By telling Stephan they believe he's a good person, they're nudging him to act accordingly and come clean. They've also mentioned cameras that may have caught him red-handed, which forces Stephan to now adjust his story to match what evidence might be out there on tape without putting him on the defensive or calling him a liar. These are classic interrogation tactics. For all the ways I knew Stephan's story was scripted, click the video on your screen now. Until next time, stay true.
He ends that really quickly. We have 420 people in chat. Hold on. Wait. All right, y'all. We have another deception detective video that I would be happy to go over with. If all of you 400 people want to continue with this, I would be glad to do so. Otherwise, I can save it for another day. But you guys let me know while I'm looking at this. I can either go or we can do the next one instead of having to do a whole other live. What do you guys want to do here? All right, let me look up Deception Detective, and you guys let me know if you hit a 1 in chat and you guys want to stay here and continue to cover Deception Detective and not do it in a different live. I will be glad to do so. All right, I will look at your comments in a second. Hold on. All right. Try to get it well. All right. While you guys are, well, I'm trying to find this. I just had it and then it skipped. So I'm still here with y'all. My son came by. I don't know if you saw, but he came by right now and grabbed the Costco card. Grab the Costco card. He's good to go. And since he's good to go, I'm good to go. All right, let's go. It's this one. 1 second. I don't even know if you guys want to do it or not, so let me know. Let's see. You guys want to keep going? We have 407 people in chat, and there's a whole another Deception Detective video. All right, we're going to meander while we get another 192 people in chat and keep going because my daughter was already picked up. My son came by, and, well, we have time here. That's what that means. So let's go. Let's do some more Deception Detective, and then I don't have to do a whole other video. This one is The Power of Denial. I'll mark it later. This is a new one that came out after, and it is Jenn denying. Is she denying it because she doesn't want to believe what she helped do, or because she doesn't know? Let's get into it together.
And pretend to search for Madeline, and why the police haven't arrested her yet. Why hasn't Jenn Soto been arrested in connection to her daughter's murder? Let's watch her viral police interview to find out. Thanks to Grizzly True Crime for uploading it. Link in description.
Do you have actual tissues? No, not aware. I can give you this whole roll.
All right, this is the first time we ever hear Jenn Soto crying, and it's the first time that we actually get to see her. So this is when Deception Detective comes out with this, and I did hear him on the live. When Grizzly was playing this, I heard him go on the live. He super chatted her $10 and said, hey, do you mind if I play this? He's a boss. He's a boss, and he's the real deal. That's why he doesn't really do lives, because he kind of stays out of the live streaming. But thank you. You got to do yard work, Ashton. You just hit play while you do it.
So Sunday, birthday party. She spent the whole day at my mom's house. We celebrated with the whole family. I was at work. I just started a new job last week or the week before.
Okay. Where's that at?
Walt Disney World at Coronado Springs, front desk concierge.
Okay.
I was finishing up my last day of, no, it wasn't even my last day of training. I was still in the middle of training. Sunday in the middle of training, I couldn't miss to go to her birthday party. So I went to work. It was my family all day. She had the best day. She was so happy when I got home and I saw her.
Many of you doubt that Jenn saw her at all when she came back. And if she did, she only saw her for like 30 minutes, everybody. So I cannot wait until they arrest the potato in Florida. And here we go. Oblivious Benson, if you call me later, I'll come bring the potato on your channel. No problem. Evil Potato, hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Malibu Surfs Up said, my son accosts my debit card all the time. Right. My son called me last week and said, Mom, it's my birthday this month, which is in like 3 or 2 weeks from now. And he says, can I have $100? I want to impress a girl and I really want to have money. Sure, honey. That's what I say. Sure, honey. All right. Kids are expensive and we love them. Her, on the other hand, didn't value Madeline Soto the way she should have. And in fact, she did trade her only daughter for Stephan Sterns.
My house around 8:30 that night. I wasn't home. She got dropped off alone. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Stephan showed up.
At your house in Kissimmee?
At my house in Kissimmee, he called me. Or he texted me, I'm not sure. But he let me know he was there and that she was getting ready for bed. She was doing her routine. So she took her nighttime meds and she got in the shower to get ready for bed.
What meds? What does she take?
She takes hydroxyzine.
Okay. What is it for?
It's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Now, could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you?
No.
That's what he told me.
No.
How do you know that?
No.
That's what he told me. At the time of this interview, Jenn has plenty of reasons to question Stephan's versions of events, starting with the fact that he was the last person to see her daughter alive, yet she still treats his word as gospel. In my early videos about this case, I thought that was because she and Stephan were co-conspirators, so she knew things she hadn't witnessed firsthand, because that's the story she and Stephan had scripted together to fool the police. But after watching parts of Jenn's police interviews, I'm seriously considering a second possibility. I think the story was still obviously scripted, but Stephan might have scripted it alone. and Jenn is choosing to believe it. Here's how I explained it in my video, How to Spot Self-Deception. It's also possible that Jenn's signs of deception stem from her knowledge deep down that his story to her isn't true. In other words, she might not have any direct knowledge of what was going on or the murder because she willfully ignored it.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were already at the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually seeing, watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill while but I'm like, no, I need to watch you take them.
Is there been an issue that in the past where she took too many or took?
Yeah, deception detective is right. She still took his word as gospel, and he, as a matter of fact, was giving Madeline Soto her medication. That's how he double dosed her. I do not believe that she took her own medication that night. I believe that in fact Stephan gave it to her, and he did probably double dose her. And if the toxicology ever came out, I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of the medication in her system. Scorpio, October 24th. My son's birthday is October 26th, and my son's birthday is October 29th. All Scorpios. She's very delusional, but I think she's sometimes delusional, and then other times she's just in denial and she knows what's going on.
The wrong thing? Or just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought in my mind, just me being hypervigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her grab to take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many, or she took, my biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds because I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different and not being myself. Like I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again that I've been medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said,
she did not forget to take her meds at any time. And JoJo, when I speed it up, I can't hear it. I don't think anyone else can understand it, but I do not believe for 1 second that she forgot to take our medication. I do believe she probably over-medicated and they said something to her. The Woody Allen comment sealed her fate. No one will ever convince me otherwise. She's a freak. Evil potato. Another one that sealed the fate for me was, I can't risk Maddie sleeping in my bed any longer. That absolutely did that for me. Jenn's a gypsy. She's about to spiral. This card is unusual details. She starts talking about this, and her coworkers notice this, and she didn't do this. When liars plan out a false story ahead of time, the process is scripting. Just like we said, scripted stories tend to be overly logical and bland, lacking unusual sensory details. For the liar, the strategy makes the story appear more believable and easier to recall. We know that she scripted this, and we don't know if she scripted it with Stephan or he scripted it and told her, but they definitely got this story down together. And they missed some things, like the dog, taking out the dog. They missed that a couple of times in different interviews.
Said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds.
Yep.
I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed, and she typically sleeps on one side, and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Madeline was kicking, punching, and rolling away from Stephan, but Jenn never questioned why. Having an unrelated man in the house, especially in the same bed, presents an obvious risk of abuse. When you factor in Madeline's disability, the prescription meds in the home, and Jenn's own history of abuse, there were enough warning signs for any reasonable person to be on alert. Yet Jenn can still sit here and call herself a hypervigilant mother. She's either the least self-aware liar we've ever analyzed on the channel, or this is a clear case of cognitive dissonance. Dissonance is the discomfort we feel when our...
All right, Heaven, you can come out of there. Now, Deception Detective doesn't talk. He doesn't say that it's cognitive dissonance. He said it's either or. And so we can kind of pick. And as we go, we're going to learn more about this case when more things come out about Jenn. And let's say she does get arrested, we'll know more about this. So then we'll be able to decide what's what. But right now, we're taking a stab at this to see what we think. We haven't even talked about her changing tenses yet again, because we haven't heard her do that in this interview. All right.
actions contradict our self-image. For example, take a drug addict who knows their habit is foolish and deadly, but can't bring themselves to quit. To ease their shame, they might justify it. The drugs aren't that deadly, or they're worth the risk, or quitting is impossible, so why even try? The same principle applies to anyone who does something they regret, like making a bad investment, or picking the wrong degree, or getting an embarrassing tattoo. The more harmful and permanent the decision, the stronger the dissonance and more desperate the rationalizations. When Jenn first allows Stephan to cross the line with Madeline, she planted the seed of that dissonance. From that point forward, saying no to Stephan would be admitting, even if it was just to herself, that she was in the wrong to let it happen in the first place. And how could a hypervigilant, independent woman be so gullible or negligent? She couldn't. I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening.
I love that he says she couldn't. I love that she says, I love that. How, you know what, Cindy? We haven't got any information from doctors or anything like that. That's got HIPAA. That HIPAA's attached to that, and we're not going to. Thank you, Flower Girl, for liking my tattoos. I appreciate that. I don't have any that I regret, on the other hand. All right. So, yeah, I love that he says that she isn't, period. That's it. Can we find out when she had surgery? When Jenn had surgery? We can't find out anything medical wise because of HIPAA. I did try to find that out about Jenn checking herself into a mental hospital, and I couldn't because of HIPAA. They can't release that. And if they do, they can get in trouble.
Happening, but it does explain two big mysteries about this case, which I'll get into next.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stephan to take her to school in the morning.
What was Sunday? So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And like, how does it put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep, or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy. They help me stay asleep.
Yeah.
And they help me function. So I'm stable all day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Ziprazidone.
More meds. All right, y'all. We have 429 people in chat. Do me a favor. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit all the notifications and become a member if you haven't. Anything that you could do helps. Hitting the like button certainly does. And just being part of the community. Thank you. Yeah, we do have dates set, Darlene Wolf. And if you go back, you can write those dates down. It's at the very beginning of the video.
I took my meds. And then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs.
I sent them.
I think he may have come down.
This is it. I sent them upstairs. This is like nothing. So I'm sure he's going to say something about that, Deception Detective. I do want to call out to you the way her hands are. I've had people say something about maybe a mental disability, but I've never heard that Jenn actually has a mental disability. I've talked to her roommate and she doesn't. And she acts like a regular person other than the meds. So keep an eye on her hands. I know we kind of made fun of that the week before last, how she just kind of like this with her hands. It's like claws, and I don't know why, or like a sloth. I really don't know. Yeah, I took my meds, then I got high. She's always high.
at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male.
Okay.
Yeah, so he uses my restroom. Sorry, where did I-
Okay, you guys really got to watch her hands now. Yeah, T-Rex hands, Deception Detective says hands, jazz hands. I'm not really sure. I was told she's definitely not on the spectrum. She's never been diagnosed with that we know. Now, maybe in court it will show up, but, it's not something that we'll be able to find out. There are going to be lots of witnesses, so we'll see what happens. But she just nonchalantly said, I sent Madeline up to bed with Stephan like nothing, like it just rolls off her back like it happens all the time. However, I don't think her family knew that. I can't really get deeper into them, but I really truly don't, and it will come out in trial. I think she went every which way she could around that when the family came over, not to let them know that Stephan lived there and Maddie didn't have a room. They might have known that he lived there sometimes, but they don't know the circumstances. I don't think they knew. I think that the roommate said that the best friend, Stephanie's best friend, might have said things, but they didn't exactly know the living accommodations for Maddie.
But Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or right.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time. For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up.
Guesses, exaggerations, and lies are very similar.
I was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy. When I got up, I was kind of drunk. But he came in to walk the dog, to put the leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate. If you put the leash on him too directly, you have to be nice and talk to him. He's a nervous dog, yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine, I got this. And I said,
now, you're right. Against all logic, absolutely, Jenn and Stephan both use the same words in the same context when they speak, but only when they're talking about this story. This story is absolutely scripted, no matter if it's scripted because they scripted it together or Stephan told her kind of what happened and led her into that. All right. Yeah, listen to what she's saying. It's over and over. Took the dog out. You're supposed to take the dog out. The dog didn't want to. We didn't want the dog to pee on the bed. Is the dog medicated too? Maybe. I think everybody is. Drum addicts, as lots of people are diagnosed with bipolar, are actually autistic. Happens more with women. They are misdiagnosed. That's probably none of her meds worked, and she was always trying different ones. That is very true. She did try different ones. There's definitely something to the medication talk part, Pat. Yeah, absolutely. The dog was able to stay with her at night, but not Maddie. Oh.
Sure. I said, yeah. So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been getting ready, but it could have been Stephan. It could have been any of my roommates.
Yes.
I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bed?
That's a really good point. She's in bullet point mode. And when you're in bullet point mode, that's when you're scripting and telling this story that's just duh, duh, duh. And you can hear it in her voice. You can hear how she's talking. You can hear how she's leading the police. Just, we did this happened, I did this. No fantastic details to this. No, I was feeling this way. I gave Maddie a hug, said goodnight. No emotion, no real details other than the script. That's a good one. Very good.
Bedroom in that time frame?
Yeah.
So he came in, you were kind of woken up based on him interacting with the dog. But she stayed in bed. You didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never.
That morning.
Monday morning. So the last time you would have been Sunday evening? Okay. You're fine.
She's crying again.
While you take a minute, I was going to ask you earlier, has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this? About had anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
My best friends have all been in contact with me, just trying to help me. There's setting up Facebook groups, flyers.
Jenn isn't the one setting up Facebook groups or distributing flyers to find Madeline. Her friends are. As I mentioned in previous videos, Jenn is behaving like someone who already knows what happened to Madeline. But it's also possible this passivity comes from her not wanting to find out for certain. In other words, she might be in deep denial. We've caught Jenn Soto in multiple lies already, so I get this theory might be hard to swallow. But it does explain two big mysteries about this case. Why Jenn didn't even pretend to search for Madeline, the way we've seen so many other guilty parents do on this channel. In fact, many of them bend over backwards to make a spectacle about how hard they're searching. And why the police haven't arrested her yet. They were so thorough and efficient with Stephan Sterns that I assume they would have pounced on Jenn if they even found one iota of incriminating evidence.
That I agree. I think the most incriminating evidence here is that she handed her daughter over to Stephan Sterns for years. And strong mom, love you, Jay, love you back. Did you guys see the unseen photos of Jennifer Soto and her legal team? Absolutely funny and just funny and ridiculous. If you need to laugh at something, laugh after this, please. Thunder Maiden, good to see you. She's starting to cry again. Listen closely.
All that said, even if I'm right about this theory of Jenn being in deep denial or cognitive dissonance, it's no excuse for whatever role she played in Madeline's ongoing abuse or murder. And my money is still on her having some direct knowledge of the crime, even if it was as an accessory after the fact.
Yep.
Because there are aspects of this interview that denial alone doesn't explain, like what Jenn is about to do now. Pay close attention to her story about going to the lab. And if you have a copy of the deception deck, see if you can make a royal flush. I'll be showing cards that I pick out on screen as we listen.
Negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen. I've been avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, text, things?
And do you all know why the family's telling her not to go on at this point? It's because they were bashing her already at this point. At this point, they were gunning for Jenn Soto. She was not going out in public. She was not doing a lot of things because they told her that the news had caught on, and they were already, when they saw her on the news and they saw her with Stephan and he was crying, they were talking about her consoling Stephan, not saying Maddie's name and many other things. So that's what she was. Yeah, absolutely. She didn't want to face the truth. That's part of it. I think that a lot of the truth she had within her, and she knew what was going on, but she didn't want to face what she did, what Stephan did, any of this.
Things like that.
That's fine.
Do you have the phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
What's your password on it?
030288.
030288. Okay.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
Your birthday's tomorrow.
Wait, did she just give the code to her phone as her birthday? Did you pick up on that? Anyway, she's going to talk about the worst birthday. I think this is the video, but yeah, T-Rex, absolutely. And hello to everybody in chat. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, she doesn't realize it's her birthday. Hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe, share this in your community if you like the way I present and how I speak for the victims, give them a voice, and watch out for new cases.
Right.
Today's the first.
It's her worst birthday.
It's the worst birthday ever.
She had already texted, not her father, she had already texted Stephan Sterns, not the father, but she had texted a friend of theirs to help him find a lawyer. And they bring that up at some point, but I don't know if it's going to be in this particular portion of the video, but yes. And now she's crying. Even though she knows what happens, she knows what happened already. She knows that Stephan already took Maddie's life. And she also has seen the sex pictures. I couldn't say that. She had seen them. This is where we're going to show her and say, are you sure you want to see this again? I think she is crying for herself. Disgusting. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. They had not found her yet. They knew she was her life was taken. You're right. They found her at 4:30 and it was about 3:00 here. So it was an hour and a half before. They already knew Maddie's body was that it had been taken from the house. They saw her unalive, we'll say, in the car. And they were showing her the pictures and asking if she knew where Stephan and Maddie went, etc. They didn't find her yet, but they knew. They knew she was gone at this point.
That way they get that going so we can get it back to you before we're out here. They don't keep it from you.
Okay.
So you said about 9:00 on Monday, you wake up?
Yeah. I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. And I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh wait, I'm on my phone.
When we get it back, we'll
it's
now she's laughing, everybody. She stopped crying. No more crying. She's laughing. And was only one sighting of Jenn Soto from what I hear the entire time. And it was one of the neighbors in the very beginning spotted her on a ring camera, pacing back and forth. And then she went to her sister's house where she's hiding out. And she's hiding out because she doesn't want anything to happen to her. Not to Maddie, not to her daughter, but to her. Yeah, crazy alert. Now she's laughing. Let's listen up. And Deception Detective is throwing out those cards. I'll throw some out too so you can see.
You need to Google it. It's the LabCorp across the street from the Loop in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my appointment. I finished there sometime between 11:15 and 11:15. Then I headed home. When I got home, Stephan was there.
A few things that stood out to me about Jenn's lab appointment story. First, she told it in present tense, which is far less reliable than using past tense. Second, her timeline was vague. She mentioned leaving home sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. The appointment was scheduled for 10:15, but they usually run late, so we don't actually know when her appointment was. Then she capped it off by saying she left around 11 or 11:15. Finally, she said she headed home afterwards, which isn't the same as saying she went home afterwards. Headed is a lot like the word started, which is a card.
Yes, and also Stephan Sterns always was heading somewhere. Remember, he dropped Maddie off and she was heading towards the church and he was heading towards whatever it was. Okay, love you, Jay. I'm going to watch, but shut off the comments for now. Scary Sherry, thank you so much for everything you do every night. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a loyal member, subscriber. We love you. All right, yeah, here we go. And this is the same thing as what he's going to talk about now. So remember this, because moving down, what I talked about earlier, she's doing now. What Stephan did earlier, she's doing now.
In the deception deck, and it indicates the beginning of an action, but doesn't necessarily mean that the action completed or even fully developed. I couldn't quite hear clearly enough whether or not Jenn said, I had my appointment. But if she just said had my appointment, that was a fragmented sentence. And this is another sign of deception and a card in the deck. If a sentence is fragmented, especially in a way that is grammatically awkward, it may be deceptive. That doesn't necessarily mean that Jenn's story is made up, but I do question how long she was at the appointment, if she actually had an appointment scheduled beforehand, and what she did after leaving the office. I'm also curious about the veracity of Jenn's story about Stephan resetting his phone, which she's about to discuss next.
When I got home, Stephan was there. I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident.
Like she was waiting for her blood appointment. Did she actually go? She did. No, she didn't. She only canceled the Botox appointment. She went to her blood appointment, but it wasn't really an appointment. It was like you go into the pharmacy, not the pharmacy. You go into the, not pharmacy, but you go get your blood. It's the, what do you call that, y'all? All right. She went and got her blood work done in the lab, is what I meant to say. Lab work, you don't need an appointment for. You just go in there. Thank you, Starzy. Took the words out of my mouth. Go into the lab and do it. There's no appointment needed. She came in, she went out, quickest appointment ever, because it was just a lab work, and she could have went in there anytime. She could have helped Stephan clean up, and then she could have went, and nobody would have known how long she had, 15, 20 minutes, nothing. Just a general opinion if it has to be. All right. Let's go through this now. She's going to talk about him resetting his phone. And this is also a scripted story, in my opinion, between her and Stephan when they were chit-chatting about what was going to happen in between him running back and forth to his, to the vape shop and her appointment.
School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no.
All right, please listen for this. The way she's talking is fragmented sentences. She's completely went to this, did this. I asked her if she went to McDonald's. She said no. It did. Bullet points. She's literally talking in bullet points, and she's talking about the last day her daughter was supposed to be alive. I cannot with this. I cannot with her, I should say.
Because that was the plan, was that they were going to stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast. He said that he had gone to the vape shop and they were closed. They didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was going to go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking. He was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair, just messing around on his phone.
And everything she's saying, she does change tenses quite a bit too. And I don't think she means to, but how she talks, she'll talk in like it's present tense, like she was doing it right then and there, and then she goes back and forth and back. And not even just about Maddie like being alive, it's what she's doing that changes so many times. And it's because she's lying. You don't change tenses and talk about what you're doing now or what you did and then go back into present tense, past tense, and then fragmented is absolutely I cannot with her either. Fragmented is nailed it 110%. If you don't have the deception deck, you all need to get one.
Hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I should probably update it now." And I said, "Do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with." And he updates his phone.
Did you hear that? That's the first time I really noticed that. Stephan Sterns looked to her to ask about updating his phone right now. In the middle of them looking for Maddie, text messages that went in and out before, text messages that could have come in. You're going to update your phone and you're going to tell your ex-boyfriend to do it right now, to update his phone right now? What? I didn't even catch that before. If Jenn was scraped once, she knows how it feels because this is why she's on Reddit. How could she let Maddie get scraped repeatedly for years? Absolutely. And wow. Yeah, update your phone right now where we're in the middle of an investigation looking for my daughter. Can't.
And then tells me, "Oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone." And I said, "How the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone?" He goes,
Stephan accidentally reset his phone while updating, but Jenn quoted herself as saying, "That's an option when you reset it." So which is it? Was he updating the phone or resetting it? Is Jenn unintentionally leaking what their actual conversation was about, or is it just an innocent slip of the tongue? When I hit play, listen closely to Jen's story about what happened after this conversation.
Apparently, I wasn't paying attention and I just pressed the button and it happened. And I said, "Oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks." Later on, he tells me,
"That's unfortunate. That sucks. Golly gee, you just wiped your whole phone out while we're in the middle of an investigation for my daughter. Let's move forward." Yeah, nothing about her is innocent, in my opinion. Yeah, she said, "That's unfortunate." Such a liar. I can't even with her. I don't understand. Yeah, golly gee. Sounds very fake. And how is she so nonchalant? Yeah, you guys know that's funny because you heard what she just said.
He's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30 so we together.
No, this is happening during the day after Maddie was missing. What do you mean, Brandy, with the Y? She's talking about what after Maddie went missing. They went back to the house, regrouped, sat there, talked, and then he reset his phone twice. So Maddie, yeah, it was after Maddie was missing. I'm not really sure what. Maybe I missed a comment. She's a lie. Yeah, it was after Maddie was missing, and they were sitting down, getting their stories scripted together. Is when that happened.
He left. I hung out in the house for a while. Was waiting for 2:30 to roll around. 2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling Stephan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, "I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave?" And I said, "About 10 minutes ago." He goes, "I'm so sorry. I missed it. I really wanted to go with you." And I'm just like, "It's fine." I figured he wasn't going to make it because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them. He told me while he was gone that he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. the wheel just shredded and fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pinched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger.
Right after I pressed play, the first words out of Jen's mouth were later on. This is what we call a temporal lacunae, a leap through time. Liars often use this technique to skip over the most incriminating parts of their stories. So naturally, I'm most curious.
And skipping over part of the story is when he was meandering and they were going here and doing this, and he just skips right over. I love this. I love having a word, temporal lacunae.
It's about what happened immediately after her alleged conversation with Stephan about updating his phone. If you're a longtime viewer, you probably also caught that Jenn mentioned Stephan went to 3 vape shops. 3 is known as the liar's number because it shows up so often in fabricated stories. We know now that the story about the vape shops is in fact a lie. So the more intriguing question is, whose lie is it? A theme we've explored throughout this video and my last one. Is it a lie that Stephan told Jenn and she's just repeating it? Or is it part of a scripted story they cooked up together to cover up what they both knew Stephan was actually doing, which was hiding Madeline's body?
Yep.
As for the flat tire, that's an unusual detail, which makes it more likely to actually be true. When liars script their stories, they usually optimize them for believability and memorization, so they typically omit details like accidents or mistakes. Flat tires, crushed thumbs, stubbed toes, these are the unpredictable quirks of real life, not the type of things you typically see in hoaxes.
Touch on something real quick. When you were calling him, he eventually told you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Only if I'm doing laundry.
That was all.
So again, she avoids this question. Only if I'm doing laundry do I go upstairs. So her daughter's room is upstairs. The half a room's upstairs. The number 4 is upstairs, where she shares it with Stephan, but never does she go upstairs. Hello, Cindy, new subscriber here. Did you all oh yeah, we nickname her Mrs. Potato Head. She's the evil potato. And you can see that how she moves, how she acts, and within her face. All right. You need the cards. You do need the cards. You absolutely need the deception detective cards, and they're from him. Brandy with a Y says, trust me, Jay, she is guilty as crime. But I'm pretty sure that's unfortunate comment was said while they were hanging out in her room before school let out. No, it was. She is trash and hopes. Yeah, we're saying the same thing, Brandy with a Y. It was a comment that happened that day when they were hanging out in the room before Maddie supposedly got out of school. That we're saying the same thing. And yeah, she's definitely guilty of crime.
I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call him that day.
I didn't. So he tells me all that. I get off the phone with him. I'm waiting. I wait for about an hour and 10 minutes. 4:04, the bell rings, and I'm waiting. I'm the first in line. And she doesn't come out.
You were in your car?
I was in my car, in the car line, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it's been a few minutes. She should have been out by now because she's usually one of the first kids out. She knows I'm in the front line. And I'm holding up the line behind me because there's kids getting in the cars behind and they're all waiting. They can't get around me, right? So I start calling her, forgetting that I have her phone on me. I had found her phone earlier that morning. She had left it at home. And I brought it with me because she does this often. She does leave her phone.
Where was the phone at the house?
It was on top of the dresser in her bedroom.
Downstairs? I never been in your house.
Downstairs.
Okay.
So, just so you know, I have a 4-bedroom townhouse.
Okay.
The living room has a partition in it, a fake wall kind of thing. That's got her bedroom in it. That's got a bed, a dresser, and a desk on it. Does she sleep there? No. She'll hang out there. She'll use her computer and hang out there. That's her hangout spot. But she primarily sleeps with me every night in my bed. That's because I know the roommates wake up super early in the morning. They're going to be in the kitchen. They're going to wake her up if she's sleeping out in the living room. So I don't.
So your bedroom downstairs, her makeshift bedroom downstairs, guest bedroom upstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Her dresser, her phone was on her dresser. When I found it, I was like, oh my God, she's on the phone now. It's great. I brought it with me to the school because I was just going to yell at her and then just hand it to her so she could have something to do on our way home. 4:10 rolls around and she's still not out, or 4:09. And then at this point, I'm feeling the pressure from the cars behind me. I'm like, okay, they're all full. They're all waiting for me to leave and she's not here yet. So I take off and I'm thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her I was picking her up from school today because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working. I don't know if she knew if I was off. So I asked, I don't know if I told her that I was going to get her. So
this part she doesn't remember because it probably wasn't scripted into it. Did she tell her? She doesn't know. She doesn't remember if she told her. Not sure if she doesn't remember, but she remembers every little other detail about Stephan Sterns and what he did that day, that month, last week, 6 months ago. Patricia, I could believe that Maddie wouldn't say anything to a family member just because she was so groomed for so long. I think the closest person that might have known because she was there would be Jenn Soto. I mean, I know a lot of victims, or I should say survivors, that never said a thing to their family members. They would never say anything until later on. So I do believe that. Yeah, she needed to get a good night's sleep for the next 2 days off, Starzy.
That's pretty close to school. If I can't pick her up at school, that's where I tell her to. Yes. I drove the path she would have walked. I didn't see her.
If Jenn thought Madeline was at the office, why didn't she just call ahead to check? That's what I would have done. When someone acts in a way that seems weird or irrational, it naturally raises our suspicion. But we need to be careful about giving too much value to the difference between what we think we would have done in a given situation and what someone else did. It's just too subjective. On your screen now are my 3 tiers of inconsistencies. And this kind of thinking is right down there at the bottom. Statements like, I would have called ahead, so she must be guilty, or I would have cried more, or I'd never let that creep in my house, so she must have been involved. This is also where I categorize things like body language analysis. Instead, I prefer to focus on internal inconsistencies, contradictions between a suspect's own words and actions. A classic example is Kate and Jerry McCann. They called 911 to report their daughter's kidnapping, but when the police actually arrived to investigate, they didn't cooperate. Their words conflicted with their actions. Jenn is about to make a tier 1 inconsistency. See if you can spot it.
A little too early. Is it okay?
See if you can spot it. It's throughout the whole interview. And we're about 2/3 of the way done with this. We have 428 people in chat. You guys have been amazing in supporting the channel today. I appreciate you all for being here, showing the love. For all those that came in late, hang in there, chat with us, and get your comments posted. I love having you guys in chat with your questions and your comments and posting it up there and making you part of the show. That was Maddie before she knew Maddie was missing. That was Monday before she knew Maddie was missing. All right, let's listen.
Okay. Let me go drive back down and wait along the path she would walk and just wait. And I parked and I waited.
Yes, you're right.
I waited. I'm not sure how long I waited. Maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. She still wasn't there, and I looked at the time, and I'm like, okay, she should be back at my mom's office by now. Maybe she took a different path, and I didn't see. So I went, no, she's still not here. And I'm like, that's really strange. So I call. I don't know if I text or I call. I think I text her, and I asked, hey, or I called. No, I called her. I asked. If And she said, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? She was dropped off close to the school. She should have been in school. She goes, no, she didn't make it to first, second period. I said, please check with the rest of your friends, see if she made it to any of her other periods. At some point in this, I emailed one of her teachers asking, actually emailed a few of her teachers, and two of them responded. One of them said, no, she did not make it to class.
Also, think about this. Now, we don't have to agree with her. There's 420 people in chat, Foxy Amazon. Thank you for calling that out. Think about this. Think about being desperate for your daughter to come out, sitting there for an hour and a half and waiting, and then emailing a teacher. Also, do you think they really emailed her back right away? You think that was an hour and a half in? Because when I email teachers, most of the time I don't get a message back until the next day, unless it's in the morning. They're definitely not sitting there on email. And I still can't understand why she does it. Thank you so much, Foxy Amazon. I knew you would be here to support the channel. I love you. Likes are enough. Subscribes are good. Sharing's awesome. But thank you guys so much for being awesome today. I needed that extra love today. And you guys know why. If you heard me before the stream, needed some extra love. Took off the weekend like I normally do. Came back Monday to a nasty disaster. But you know, I'll recover from that and it blows right over. I love you all. We want justice for Maddie. We want to keep going with this case. And we're going to keep covering it. I'm not going to let anything stop me from covering this case. Today, we made progress in this case. Today, Stephan Sterns finally got the dates set for his 2 trials. And he showed up today, which was awesome. Also, the judge said he cannot not show up. He has to go to his trial. We're not going to get another Montgomery, Adam Montgomery. We're not going to get another Adam Montgomery. No, people, we're not. No Adam Montgomery. He's got to go. Thank you, Jen's a Gypsy, for sending that extra love. And yeah, nothing's going to stop me. I've got my children. I've got my wife. I've got the crime crew. I've got my mods. I got lots of love. So thank you. He probably did smell, whoever asked that in question in the chat.
And I checked her attendance for the rest of the day. She wasn't in school at all. Like, he sent me a screenshot of like her attendance, and it said 0, 0, 0.
You still have that on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
If you need to know what app, I'll tell you what app. It's a special school app.
You're right.
He said she was missing all day. And at this point, I start to panic and freak out because that can't be the case. She was dropped off. I had to go check her attendance in school, but the office had closed already. The lights were off. I could see a student sitting in there in the darkness, but I couldn't see any of the administrators or anybody in the office. Lights were off, everything was closed. They wouldn't allow me in.
Jen doesn't know where Madeline is. She's not at the office. She's not on the path. And then she sees some students inside the school, obscured by the dark. And what does Jen do? She immediately determines that none of them are Madeline and goes back to her car. It's possible that actually happened, but it seems to conflict with her story. She knows Madeline was dropped off and might have played hooky for some of her classes. She knows she hasn't come out yet because she was the first car in the pickup line. So how can she know for sure that none of those students were Madeline? She doesn't report knocking on the window or peering through the glass or waving at one of the students to come open the door. Of course, she may have done that and she just left it out. Maybe it just wasn't that dark, or the students were obviously older and not in Madeline's grade, or they were clearly part of some sort of after-school activity or sport that Jen knew Madeline wasn't involved in. But if I were one of the detectives interviewing her, I would definitely ask some follow-up questions about this. And maybe they will. I've only seen parts of this interview. So let's keep listening.
I think at this point, the teacher had responded to me and told me she didn't make it to school at all. I start having like a freaked out panic attack.
She starts having a panic attack. I don't know if I believe that with all the nonchalant chit chat that's going on. Also, somebody brought up a good point earlier. She was, in fact, a substitute teacher at this school. So she would have known a lot more about the school, the email system, how it went after school and picking her up, and just all the ins and outs of how to get a hold of Maddie and who to talk to and what. So she knew that And this doesn't make sense. They don't know that at this point. We barely found out she was a substitute teacher from the roommate before the last interviews came out. All right. How can you do with someone who is unhygienic? Oh my God. Oh, you guys. Thank you, Valerie. Hello, Jay. Glad I caught a live. Valerie, thank you for being a member for 3 months. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you for being here, y'all. 2 hours.
Are you still just you at this point? Is it you and Stephan?
It's me and my sister. And I want to say one of Catherine. I start panicking. And I think at this point I call Stephan and I tell him, hey, because she didn't make it. She's absent today. There's no attendance of her at all today. I'm like, right now. And he said, okay, I'll be there. And he came to the office. And
redact.
There for like 3 hours, I think. Eventually I contact one of my friends whose husband works or ex-husband works for OCP or for you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
And I messaged him and I talked to him and I asked him what I should be doing because you guys aren't responding quick enough.
Would you know his name? Where he works?
Yes. Nick Mann.
Okay.
Or Mahon.
Do you know what he does here?
I think he works for SWAT.
Okay. Sure. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, rah, baby. Jenn isn't even panicking now, and Maddie wasn't found yet. And not only that, she's seen the picture. She knows what Stephan did to her, and yet she says that part's not evil. She can get past that. She still asks the officers if she has to press charges at this point. This is the interview. Corey thinks that Stephan put meds in the wine. I don't know if Stephan had to put meds in the wine. I think she was more than willing to do that. But never know. Yvette Finn super sticker. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I'm guessing it's an avocado, a dancing avocado to brighten the day. Thank you. All right, let's finish this up, y'all. 2 hours.
He tell you to wait.
I can't remember anymore. I think he let us know that there were other kids missing in the area, which is why you guys weren't responding quick enough. I think an 8 and a 9-year-old had gone missing around the same time too. In a playground, they forgot to tell. They didn't tell their mom they were going to the playground or something like that. So all the cops were over there on that side of Hunter's Creek. My sister's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, thought it would be a good idea to go to the park and talk to a cop there and see if he could bring a cop back, and that's what he did.
Okay.
And then at that point, that's when the cops started asking us questions, taking a report.
For my analysis of that body cam footage, click the video on your screen now. Want more of this interview? Let's.
And if you're new here and you have no idea why we call Jenn the evil potato or the dumb potato or the busted potato, take a look at this potato. It's a lot cuter. But look at the face in the screen right there that says busted. Take a look at her face and you'll understand why we call her a potato. Now, this stemmed from Oblivious Benson coming on my show. We talked about this, and OB, or Oblivious Benson, she said, I think Jenn Soto was just completely medded out the whole time. She took meds. Yeah, look at that face. Pat Sanford, LOL, that face. So Oblivious Benson thinks she was just on meds all the time, just out of it, let Stephan do whatever he wanted, and then she was in massive denial here. So that's why we call her the busted potato in this particular instance. All right, let's finish this up. Thank you all for being here so
Let's
very
get this
much.
video to 50,000 views. You can help by liking and sharing. Till next time, stay true.
Always true to you, Deception Detective. He literally is one of the nicest guys that I know. He keeps it real. He stops by when we're doing chats. He's very supportive in his forum. He's just a great guy, y'all. If you're not subscribed to Deception Detective, if you don't have the deck, you can get that over on Deception Detective's website. Go check it out, or just Google or look online on YouTube for Deception Detective. Also, they have an app on, if you have Apple or Android, you can get the app and get these cards and look them up. Do a search. It's fantastic. I like the cards because I'm old school. But yes. All right. That's spoiled potato. You guys, you and your Botox and all that. Yes, Marilyn, I am feeling much better. I'm going to feel even better now that we're done, because I get to go and hang out with my lovely, beautiful, very perceptive daughter. Jay, your content channel are the best. You've got the best mods and community. I've never seen any meanness, only towards perpetrators who deserve it. This whole community, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And we do that. We have all love around here when we do our 444s or 333s or angel numbers. That's something that we just do because we're spiritual around here. All of you guys love doing that. It sounds like something that you do in your life. And we just keep things fun and light around here when we can. These cases get very heavy and we try to see the light, and really we're here for Madeline Soto, for the victims, and anything else that I covered this week. I'm actually going to put that out there. Hopefully I can get it done by Wednesday and we can do Aubrey Stowers. All right. She's a 5-year-old little girl and she needs us to show her some love now that she's no longer with us. All right. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I'm sure the mods are like, stop this already. So I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Mwah. Thank you for the extra love today.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?